इंग्लिश में अच्छे से बात करने के लिए पूरी परफेक्ट ग्रामर आनी चाहिए। अरे ये किसने बोला यार। चलो हर्षल के साथ मिलके आज इन मिथ्स को हवा में उड़ाते हैं।
So I'll be just giving you a sentence and you have to tell me whether it's myth or it's truth. And if it is myth, why do you think? If it is truth, why do you think? So you can basically explain. So that's how we
Okay.
can cover the way we perceive this language, that part of it.
Okay.
You must live in an English speaking country to become fluent.
Myth.
It's a myth.
Yes.
Why do you think so? I mean, what's the truth if it is myth?
We don't live in an English living country,
Hmm?
but the biggest companies, CEOs and directors are Indians,
Hmm.
and they speak better English than the people who speak English in that country.
Hmm.
So it's not necessary that you need to live in an English speaking country. It is, when it comes to language, it's simple. The more time you give to the language, the more better you get at it. You spend more time writing, you'll get better at writing. You give more time to speaking, you'll get better at speaking.
Yeah. So, okay, next myth that's coming to you. Watching English movies automatically makes you fluent. Watching English movies.
Myth.
Myth? Why do you think so?
Watching them would help you understand the language, but until you don't practice, you won't get it.
Okay. So, along with that, speaking.
You have to start talking.
Okay. This is specifically for adults who are trying to learn, a myth that's around. Children learn languages faster than adults. Is it a myth or truth?
Is the truth.
Is it truth? Why do you think so?
Because they don't have any preconceived notions.
Okay.
They're learning for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
We learn with a reason behind it. So we restrict the learning process.
So, as adults, do we come with a lot of past baggage to learn that language with a lot of pressure?
We have reasons to learn. See, a kid learning English does not have any reason.
Yeah.
उसको सीखना है.
Right.
So it's learning everything.
Mm-hmm.
As adults, we are learning English or anything for that matter because we want to achieve something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's कि ये हो जाए तो हो जाएगा.
Mm-hmm.
इसके बाहर नहीं जाना है.
समझा.
So that's why it becomes difficult.
Perfect. Grammar isn't important if you just want to speak fluently.
It's in between truth and myth. Grammar is important so that you don't make a fool out of yourself.
Okay.
How the words are placed, but knowing where a conjunction goes and what's a conjunction and what's a pronoun and how a pronoun appears, what is past, present tense,
Mm-hmm. Do
you
you
need
want to
to know.
give an example to explain a bit? If
See, I can't think about it right now. So um, let's take the word and. Okay, it's a conjunction.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, for me, how many times have you and me used the word and in this whole conversation?
Maybe a couple times.
Do you remember every time you use the word and that it's a conjunction and how to use it, why to use it, where to use it, how not to use it? We've been taught all this in Trade and Reader,
Yeah,
right?
we know, but then you just don't calculate so much.
Exactly. So you need to know the basics of grammar
Hmm.
so that you don't misuse it, misuse words in a statement.
Mm-hmm.
However, it is not that you need to know every aspect of grammar in it.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Right? So it's needed, but it's not a gun to the head.
Hmm. Okay. Next myth. It's too late to start learning English as an adult.
It's a myth.
Yeah. Why?
It's a myth. Anything. It's never too late to learn anything.
True. Agree.
Anything.
Wrong question. Wrong
Wrong
myth.
question.
Okay. Yeah. Memorizing word lists is the best way to expand vocabulary.
Myth.
So how do you do it?
Conversations.
Okay.
The most simplest way of doing it is this is something that an English speaking coach taught me when I was in my call center era. That you take a dialogue from a movie, you read the dialogue, and then you try to articulate it the exact same way that the actor has done it.
Okay.
It sounds very simple, but just for fun, take a dialogue, like something that is a minute long. A minute long is this big paragraph. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not,
It's
it's a
a
pretty big
100
paragraph.
words.
Yeah. Take a paragraph, read it, don't memorize it, read it. Take your phone, record,
Hmm.
voice recording, put it on voice record. Now do it as you would do it for the film if you were the hero.
Okay.
Loudly.
Mm-hmm.
Go back, play it, and then listen to the hero doing it and listen to yourself doing it, and you realize where you're going wrong or what is the difference.
Last two left. So in India, do you think confidence is associated with your ability to speak in English language to an extent or whatever you want to?
True.
True. Why do you think so?
Again, it's that colonial mentality that if you know the language, you are better than everybody else. And we've been taught that way.
Okay.
Our education system does that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even in school, if somebody reads better or if somebody speaks in English, the teachers are more inclined towards that person than who's not.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do it or they do it intentionally. We don't know, but it does happen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Correct. And then even at home, it happens. Even around you, it happens. So it's built all around you.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So this brings me to the last one. This is quite interesting. This is again in India. Uh, do you think a person becomes 10% smarter if he speaks fluent English?
Myth.
Myth? Okay.
It becomes 10% confident. Say 20% confident.
Okay, not smart.
Not smart.
But do you think
Knowledge
they
and
are
language has
able?
nothing to do with it, with each other.
Okay.
Language is a medium to get knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing the language does not bring knowledge to you.
Oh, what a line.
Okay.
A little practical advice.
Spoken English. Spoken English, it's very simple. Like the example I gave you about the actor, right? Start when you're watching movies, start saying the dialogues with them.
Okay.
Repeat. Say it loud. Make a fool out of yourself. Say
Mm-hmm.
it loud. First thing. Second thing again is to tell people around you, point out mistakes, show me corrections. Third thing is start reading. Read the newspaper, which is because it does not get boring. So read the newspaper and don't just read grace to the newspaper. Actually read word to word. Take anything and read them word to word. To and when I say read, it's not about in your mind.
Yeah, right. Read it loud.
Read it out loud because then you know where you're saying certain words wrong,
Right.
and then you can correct it.
Mm-hmm.
See, the only way you can correct something is to first identify where you're going wrong. Until you don't see, if you're super confident that I'm very good in English, and the person at the side knows you're not good in English because you're making mistakes, until you don't accept that you're wrong, no matter how much feedback somebody gives you,
Yeah.
you're not going to correct yourself,
Yeah. So need to be
right?
open about.
Yeah, you need to be open about it. So, and uh, the more time you spend conversing in English,
Hmm.
you will automatically get better in it. See, remember, a person who is in the UK or in the US, from morning breakfast to night, when they close their eyes, their only medium of language is English.
Hmm.
At home, when they're traveling, when they're in school, when they're traveling back, when they're meeting their friends, they are constantly for 10, 12, 14 hours, they're only speaking in English,
Mm-hmm.
right? So automatically, even in their dream state, they are still in English,
Right.
right? You have four languages, three languages, two languages that you're toggling between.
Yeah.
So you cannot be as good as them. You don't need. It's not about you cannot be. You don't need to be as good as them
Yeah.
because you're already better than them. When you say I'm good, like when somebody tells me I'm very good at English, I'm as good as them, I'm saying you're degrading yourself
Yeah.
because I speak 4 languages and I'm good at 4 languages, or you speak 2 languages and you're good at 2 languages. They speak only one language and they're good at only one language. So
Mm.
if I come down to their level, so I'm getting going low, right? I'm not going up.
Right, true.
So you not knowing, see, not knowing the language is different than not being able to speak the language,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there are ways you can communicate when you need to.
Right.
And it's very simple. Somebody is very put it very beautiful in 3 words: practice makes perfect.
Yeah,
That's the end of it.
yeah, yeah, true.
If you there is no medicine that you can take where it just happens for you.
Yeah.
So it's just about that.
Mm.